Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will study about the Survey of Irrigation project. Survey of Irrigation project consists of three steps, that is reconnaissance survey, second is the preliminary survey, and third is the detailed investigation and layouts, that is construction survey. So first we will see irrigation projects mainly consist of engineering or hydraulic structures which collect, conveys and deliver water to areas on which crops are grown. And irrigation projects may range from a small farm unit to the serving extensive areas of millions of hectares. So we can say that the irrigation projects have the range. It can be beneficial for the small farm unit also, and also it can be beneficial for extensive areas of million of hectares. Now we will see what is the necessity of survey. We are carrying out a survey of irrigation project, but what is necessity for that survey? Surveying for an irrigation project is done to understand. It is done to understand if the dams or other irrigation construction is required or not, whether there is a need or not. For that purpose, the survey is carried out, and the area should benefit to its larger extent when the completion of irrigation structure is done. So, after the completion of this irrigation project, it should benefit the area around it. So, the survey of irrigation project is needed to conclude this. Now, first we will see reconnaissance survey. What is reconnaissance survey? It is an extensive study of an entire area. It is nothing but the extensive study of an entire area. After completion of this survey, then a good alignment is selected and they are allowed to conduct the preliminary survey. In reconnaissance survey, the size of catchment area, also the vegetation in the catchment area, soil type, then the slope, existing ponds and the other irrigation project, if any, in that catchment area is considered. Next point is about the command area. So, what is exactly command area? The command area is the area around the dam, and we can say project where the area get benefited from the dam. So how does the area get benefit? It get benefit through water, electricity, etc. So we can say it is the area which can be irrigated from a scheme and is fit for cultivation. It is the area around a dam which is under its command as an irrigation source. So this is the meaning of command area. So what does it include? It includes inquiry, then it includes the inspection of the soil type, what type of soil there it is, and thickness, crops growth and distance of source. Whatever the source we are providing for the crops, so we should also know the distance of the source. Next is the dam site. Dam site includes approximate length of dam, height of dam, then about the soil, its types, its suitability, population, site for spillway, area of submergence, etc. And spillway. What is spillway? Spillway, for what purpose the spillway is used? Actually, it is the hydraulic structure built at a dam site, and it is used for diverting the surplus water from the reservoir after it has been filled to its maximum capacity. After that, we will see rainfall and river gauge data if available at nearby station. Population is, it includes the number of people those corporate or opposes the proposed scheme. So we have to see that how many peoples are agreed, or we can say how many of them cooperate with us or how many of them opposes the proposed scheme, and history of any previous investigation. This is also considered in this type of survey. Next is preliminary investigation. Preliminary investigation consists of engineering surveys, then hydrological data, then geological data. First we will see about the engineering survey. These are conducted for the dam. So engineering survey are conducted for the dam, reservoir and other work. In this survey, two types are carried out, that is topographic survey is carried out and contour plan is also prepared in this type. The following information is prepared and recorded in engineering survey. Engineering survey, in this survey the size, area in square kilometer is recorded, area which is under cultivation, area which is under forest, area which is under habitation, this is considered. Also here the type of soil is considered, existing ponds and sizes, their capacity, river sites in that area, flood levels if available from past record if any. Next one is the slope of the hills. Dam site, for dam site, for the area in the vicinity, accurate triangulation survey is conducted and contour plans are usually prepared to a scale of 1:250 to 1:500. For reservoir, again the contour plan is usually prepared and the scale is 1:15,000 and this is prepared with 2 to 3 meter interval, and it depends on the size of reservoir, and with this it also depends on the area elevation and storage elevation curves. The area elevation and storage elevation curves are prepared. So in next lecture we will see in detail about the area elevation and storage elevation curves. Last point is survey of spillway. So the site for the spillway and the alignment of the approach and also the 10 channels are marked on plan. Survey of approach road. In this case, the contour survey for bridge side should be carried out and the scale is given for 1:4,000 horizontal and 1:200 vertical. So from this road gradient, whatever the road gradient is decided, from that the earthwork can be calculated. Campsite. Campsite, it is necessary to construct the offices, stores, workshop, garage, etc. for all medium and major project. The site should be located on fairly level ground. So all these offices, stores, workshop, garages, it is necessary for all the medium and major project, and this construction is done on the fairly level ground. The contour plan of 1:1000 with contour interval of 50 cm is prepared over here, and all the necessary buildings these are located on these plans. Next we will see about geological survey. Geological survey, in this survey it is necessary geological investigation, it is necessary for suitability of foundation for the dam, water tightness of the reservoir basin. Again third point is location of quarry site for construction material. So in this investigation we can see water tightness of the reservoir basin. For this purpose this investigation is necessary. So whenever the river flows over such a loose or a fractured ground we say, so in this case it is natural that some water of the river percolates. Percolates means it leaks underground, and before construction of dam this leakage it shall be limited only to the extent over which the river flows occur. So to avoid such type of leakage, this factor should be investigated very properly for to avoid the future problem about the water tightness of the reservoir basin. And last one is the location of quarry sites for construction material. Quarry sites, location of the quarry site should be nearby, as quarry means it is an excavation, usually it is an open excavation. Usually quarry sites are used for obtaining the building stones, limestones, whichever we need for the construction. Next is the hydrological survey. So hydrological survey is carried out to collect the data. So which type of data? Like rainfall, temperature, about the direction of wind, about the velocity, evaporation, flood marks if any, etc. This all the data is collected in hydrological survey. It is necessary. Why this data is necessary? It is necessary to study the runoff pattern and to estimate the yield. So from this we come to know that how much was the rainfall and how much water got percolated, that is due to infiltration. Some water get infiltrates in ground and some water flow in the form of runoff, due to which we can calculate the runoff pattern and we can estimate the yield from this to determine the maximum discharge at site. So we can calculate the effective impervious area also from this, and due to which it will be beneficial for us in the planning of the drainage network, and due to which if we will know the exact runoff pattern of the of this, and by knowing the runoff pattern we can reduce the overestimation of the hydraulic structure, and economically we can see about this. To determine maximum discharge at site, then determination of hydrographs of flood to determine spillway capacity and its design. Next is the detailed investigation. So detailed investigation, it consists of survey of command area, then whatever the area is around the dam, that area is surveyed, and next type of suitable dam, boring at dam site. Then we have to have the detailed report of soil investigation strata available with various depth. Again, detail of area which is under submergence. So whatever area is underwater, so we have to take the we have to investigate about that area, so that the valuable land should not be under submergence, because due to this the yield can be reduced and details of people comes under influence, existing sediment problem if any, material available, quarry sites available nearly the project, gauging of river. So gauging of river is the recording of the river stages, or we can say the water level can be recorded in this. Next is for site selection of reservoir. So what are the factors that should be considered while selection of reservoir? For site selection of reservoir, so first we should have the stable foundation for dam, then the river valley should be narrow and well defined, and only the small dams is required, which means cost of dam construction will be less in case of narrow river valley, and if we have the wide valley, then the bigger dam, that will the cost will be very high. So from economical point of view, and the proposed reservoir basin should be watertight. So previously we discussed why it should be watertight and free from cracks, fissures, etc., because before construction of dam, this leakage it shall be limited, and the reservoir basin should not submerge the valuable land and properties. So previously we discussed this point also in the detailed investigation, and the tributaries which can carry high contents of sediment should avoid. So sedimentation, we know that it is the natural process in which the rock is formed, and this rock is formed from the small pieces of sandstone that have been left by water or wind. So as the sedimentation can affect the hydropower production also, it can affect the safety of dams, then negative impact on environment, and the study also concluded that the sedimentation can affect the water quality also. So the tributaries which carry the high contents of sediments, it should be avoided, and the size should be such that the optimum storage capacity is available for the desired purpose. Next we can see the site should be accessible by roads and railways, and the construction material should be available in the nearby area. Also next we will see about the silting of reservoir. So silting of reservoir means the deposition of silt and clay, that is fine particles of soil. So following methods are used to reduce the entry of silt in the reservoir. We should select the proper dam site such that the catchment area has less erodible portion, and constructing the dam in stages. Also constructing the check dams, providing vegetation screens also, it can also help to reduce the entry of silt. Proper reservoir design, causing silt water to escape. Then dredging of silt. So dredging of silt is used for removing the silt and other material. It is the act of removing silt and other material from bottom of bodies of water, and it is done with the help of the excavators and vacuum pump. Next, factors which are affecting the silting are the catchment area. In case of fan shape catchment, the amount of deposition of finer soil fractions will be more as compared to the fern shape catchment, and the slope of the country is also one of the factor, and if the slope is steep, then what will happen in this case? The more particle will be deposited through runoff, and the velocity will be more, and if the velocity will be more, then it will carry the silt and clay particles with it, and high velocity may erode the soil more. So slope of the country should not be more, it should not be steep. And next is the climatic condition. Climatic condition, in climatic condition, the dryness, rain, heat, etc., we can say it helps in the production of the silt. So it also plays very important role in silting. And the last one is the nature of the surface soil. If the soil is loose, then the silting is more, as more particles will move along with the runoff. So nature of the surface soil also is one of the important factors which is affecting the silting. Thank you.